Good day, everyone. My name is Tovia Devi. Welcome to my channel. So in our playlist, this is the second map we're going to do. This is the advanced geological map. Yeah. So in the advanced geological map, one of the things you see, you'll not be seeing things like contours, but there are terminologies that will now be introduced. The terminologies that will be introduced. They are called the spot height, spot height, SPOTHEIGHT, spot height. Some call them spot values. Okay, and we also have deep. Yeah, deep. You have heard of deep before. Deep is an angle in which a particular bed is tilting. Okay, those are caused by tectonic activities. Next, one of the things is you talk about direction, where is it dipping to, is it dipping, and we also talk about the exaggeration because in some skills you're not going to just be using scales, you have to be exaggerating some of the map, their scale is too small or the scale given is too small, we have to exaggerate. So all of this topic will be covered in this. Okay, good. Let's start with now. For drawing your cross section of any map, the first thing is that you must use the scale given to you. Yes, you might be told to use any scale, but for formality, you must use the scale given to you. So in this map, you can see this region where you have 10123 kilometer. You are going to use these are your scale. These are the scale you are going to use. So each of these shows a kilometer, right? From here to here is just 1 kilometer. So you're going to take your ruler, and you see, this is my ruler. I'm going to measure. Going to measure. Okay. So yeah, I'm having 2.4. 2.4. So those are the steps for your scale. You have 2.4 centimeter representing what? 1 kilometer. Okay. So so and 1 kilometer is something as what? 2.4 centimeter represents what? 1,000 what? Meter. Okay, then 1 centimeter will represent 1,000 over what? 2.4. Okay, you take a calculator, press 1,000 divided by 2.4, which is what? 1 centimeter representing 407 approximately meters. Okay, now if you look at your map, so I'm just telling you, so this is the scale you have to use to draw your cross section. But now, that's where we now involve our what? Vertical exaggeration. The first thing we're going to talk about. So, if I tell you that, if you look at your map, let's look at the map. If you look at the map, you see that these spot values are actually what they call elevation, just that in advanced mapping, we call them spot height. Okay? So, these are your elevation. You can see that the highest elevation in this place is what? 200 meter. Now, just imagine you want to draw your what? Your cross section, and you just take 1 centimeter representing this 1 centimeter. Just imagine this 1 centimeter. You know why that will not be even be that big. Exempting 417, let's just say for example. Then the highest in your map here is 200. So you can see that it is too small for you to show what is happening on the field geologically. So what do? You what? Exaggerate. You what? Exaggerate. So I'll just give you a simple trick about exaggeration so you not think too much. Okay? So you will say that what? You exaggerate. If you exaggerate this part, you exaggerate by 5 times. I'm just giving for example, so that it can now become what? Enlarged. So you have 1 centimeter represent what? 417 divided by what? 5. So anytime you're exaggeration, this part you will be dividing. Divided by 2 times, 2 times exaggeration, you divide by it. So this is for scale. Exaggeration for deep angles is different. In deep angle, you multiply. In scale, you divide. So let's just say minimum 417 divided by what? 5. You have 83 point what? Point 4. You can say like if you want to exaggerate by 6, you say 417 divided by what? By 6. That's 69.5. So you can say 1 centimeter will represent what? 70 what? Meters. Good. So this is what you are going to use. And anytime you are going to exaggerate in your exam, you must make sure that you write here what? You write it out that you what? That the vertical exaggeration of the cross section is this. Now, for deep, if the deep angle is so small, this is your protractor. Just imagine you want to show a deep angle of 5. Sometimes in advance, sometimes some of those stuff are very, very small. You have deep angle of 5. It's too small to show what you actually need in your cross section. So you exaggerate. So I told you that what? For deep, you what? Multiply. So if you want to exaggerate, for example now in this map, the angles, the highest deep angle is 6. So either 6 or 5 degree, you multiply by what? By 5. So that it becomes big. 6 times 5 degree, that's what? 30 degree. So the deep angle here that I'm going to use for the cross section will be what? 30 degree. So I'm going to go with this and this for drawing my cross section for today. Okay. Next. The next step in drawing your cross section, you can use your graph sheet or your A4 paper, anyone. Okay. This is my graph. This is my graph. And this my map. So your cross-section line should be what you need, A, B. Okay? Now, I talk about spot height, right? I mentioned about spot height. So in advanced mapping, they are using values to show what? Elevation. So you are only to focus on the elevation that are closer to the cross-sectional line. This AB is the cross-sectional line. So you have to focus on what? The angles, the spot height that are closer to this line. So for each bed, here we have 105, we have 100. Which one is closer? 100, right? So this is what I do. I show a dashed line passing through the cross section. Okay, so that even when I put my slip of paper on it, on each side, on either side of this map, I'll be able to see that here represents 100 and here represents what? 100. Okay, you have to use your pencil. Next, in this bed, you can see you have 98 in this side. Okay, you have 100 here. So which one is closer in this bed? 100, right? Yes, means so I chose 100. So you chose 100 here, 100 here. So in this side, we have 110, 115. Of course, I know that you already know how it flows now. You pick 110, right? Next, in this place, you can choose this 200. Good. So that for more expansion, you can see here is very, very wide. So you have to pick more than one contour, even in this bed. So I chose 190 also. Okay. This 190 and this 190, which one is closer? I chose this 190 because it's closer to this line. Okay. You can and choose 180. But it doesn't really mean you pick 2 in this bed, and that's enough. Okay, so now you know how to apply the concept of that. And I told you that always write so that you'll not be confused on which side you're using. Here is 200, 200. Here is 110, 110. Good. Now let's start. What is the next thing? You take a slip of paper. So use a slip of paper, right? Just a white slip of paper. Then you put it across A to B. Most times, students usually make that mistake of starting from B to A, but you should just follow your alphabetical order, and that will help you. So you have A, then you have B. You write A, then write B. Can you see the benefit of always writing the mark? You can see, even though I cover 100 here, I can see it because I've drawn this line. Now, you can use a ruler actually, don't be like me that I'm just doing this. Okay, so here we have 100 contour, we have 100 contour, we have 110, we have 200, and we have 190. Okay, now you've drawn your contour. You move to your map. Now let's go to our graph. I'm just using graph. In the next session, I can use A4 and I can still use my graph. So the first thing, you take this. So I don't use your ruler. So graph just makes it easier. I just take this Can you see that? So this A and this what? This B. Okay? So now you roll your line from A to B. So this A and this what? B. Okay. Now we've done that. The next is the meaning of what? Our vertical exaggeration. You remember what I told you earlier? I said that what? The vertical exaggeration for this map we're going to use is what? 1 centimeter representing what? 70 meter. So since the highest of our contours in our map, the highest here is what? 200. So we just say, okay, now this map now is each box here represents 2 centimeter, right? So 2 centimeter. So if 1 centimeter is representing what? 1 centimeter represents what? 70, right? 2 centimeter will represent what? 140. Okay. So from here to here, from here to here, okay. So that I just want to enlarge it, okay. I just want to enlarge it, but that you can see what I'm doing at once. So in this one, I'm just going to take 2 centimeters for 70, just for you to see. So we have 70, we have 140, you have 210. You have 210. Okay. So next, in this place we have 70, we have 140, and we have what? 200 and what? 210. Good. So the next thing we're going to do is to go back to our paper where we have pointed our what? Our spot height, our spot values. So what I do is that I take my spot height and put it at the location where I will have that value. So here is 70, here is 140. So you know that everything is increasing by, between 70 and 140, that is 70. So everything is increasing by 7, right? So 77, you have, I guess let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, that is like 28, right? And here, which is 35. So 70 plus 35, that's like 115. So we can just pick this middle here as 100. Okay? So can you see that? So we picked as 100. So just pinpoint all the 100 that you have. So I think that's the end. Then the next we have a 110. So a bit, you just take it up and pinpoint the 110. The next 200. So you know that 210 minus 7 is like 203. So you know that your 200 can actually be around here. Okay. Then 190, you can just take it a bit down. Okay. Now, wonderful. You now have your what? Your topography being shown. So you connect it, just freehand, don't force it. Just freehand, 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 freehand. So you can see here it's going down, freehand. Okay, so now the next question before ask is that, so after this last contour, am I going to go up? Am I going to go down? Since there's no any contour that will give me direction. Very simple. Just come here and look at your map. You can see that from A to B, the contours are what? Are they decreasing or they are increasing? I know your answer will be that what? It's decreasing. You can have 190 here, you have 180 here. So which means like that is decreasing. So just take it a bit down. Just a bit down. Since you cannot see what is there. But let's say what you have here is now 200, 210, 250. You just take it what? Oh. Good. You have drawn your what? Your topography for your what? For your map. But that is not all about your cross section. The next thing is about your what? Your deep angles. When you talk about your deep angles. So now, for each bird, we have So for here, we have 6 degree, 5 degree. So anytime in a bed you have two, you just pick one. So I can pick six, I can pick five. You know, I told you earlier that the deep the vertical exaggeration for the angle is by 5, right? And that's 30 degree. Okay. So we have 6 times 5, and that's 30. So now, one of the things that I'm going to explain before we continue with our map, we have done topography, okay, is a direction. Where is it dipping to? You can see that in this question. In this question, typically, interesting, all the distance are dipping upward. But we don't say that kind of language in geological mapping. We don't say dipping upward or dipping downward or dipping north or dipping east or dipping west. What do we say? Is dipping towards B or is dipping towards A? So when we say something is dipping towards B now, this arrow, can you see, is facing direction of B. So it's dipping towards B. Why the arrow is facing towards what? If the arrow is facing upside down, that we don't have in this place, it's what? You say what? Is dipping towards what? A. So, what's the implication of this? Now, you know, we have boundaries between our beds, okay? And when we pinpoint these boundaries, when we pinpoint each of these boundaries to now check their what? Inclination. To check their inclination, okay? To check their inclination. So, to check their inclination, sorry for that. Okay, so we have this. So this is your protractor. Remember that in this your protractor, you have A and you have B. Okay, so you know your map that you have drawn. This A and this what? B. So if it's dipping towards B, you're going to start from here. So your angles must always start from this 0 to this 90. So because it's the inclination, the deep angle must be towards, this is what it means by towards B. So if you have this line like this on your map, A, B, and the arrows are like this, your angle you are going to draw must be in this kind of angle. But if you have something like this, and the angle is facing towards A, the A part of your what cross-sectional line, it must dip. So in your on your protractor, probably this is the point between two bedding plane. Okay, so you can just put this at center. So probably it is even 50 degree. Dipping towards A, it must follow, it must point to the direction of what? A. Use your ruler to do that. So I know with all I've said, you should be able to understand the dipping towards A and dipping towards B. And I'm going to show you a practical, I'm going to show you a practical section of that. I'm going to show you a practical section of that. So, first, now let's come back. We've pointed our square height. The next thing we're going to pinpoint, it's our boundary. Our what? Boundary. So this is boundary between H1 and H2. We point it. The boundary between H2 and H3. We point it. You can even write in their name. Okay, so we have that boundary. Good. So you come here on your A. So on that cross-sectional line, we're going to pinpoint those boundaries. Going to pinpoint those boundary, pinpoint those boundary, pinpoint those boundary. Good. So the next thing is, you know what? Is a protractor, and you need to just look at it. You can see that this 6 degree, this 5 degree, it's for the direction. You know, it's showing that everything here is dipping in what 6 degree. But now for vertical exaggeration of what we need, we exaggerate this thing 5 times. I'll choose 30 degree, right? So I'm going to do 30 degree for everything because it's showing that what everything in this geological map is dipping what 30 degree. And 30 degree to which direction? To A or B? I know you have said the answer. So it's what? It's towards what? B. So since it's towards B, since it's towards B, let me, okay, since it's towards B, something like this. So you know that it cannot be here because like this means it's towards A, but like this is towards B. So you have this 30. Okay. Oh, tick marks checking. So yeah, thank you. So congratulations, you've done your first part of the deep angle. So your next part, you continue. Everything is dipping 30 degree. Next, 30 degree. Make sure it is resting, the zero is resting on the, make sure it's resting on it. 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 Okay. Now, the last one. Okay. So these are very, very close. Good. Yeah. So now we've talked about everything, the spot height, and you've done everything. But this cannot give you a full mark in the syllabus. So the first thing first is that you must actually draw your label. It's not because you wrote H1 here, you write H1, H2, but you can just name it like from A. You can see from A, you have H1, write it under it, but not inside it. H2, yes, H3, yes, H4, and yes, what? H5. Okay, good. So the next step, it's that you can see what they name it, wielding beds. That's what they both mud stone. And I told you before in the other video that a mud stone is just a blank space. So you don't need to, there's not a symbol for mud stone. Okay. Next, H2, we have sandstone. Sandstone is just like sand, just your nice dots, dots, dot, dot, dots. If you are rushing in the exam, just apply your dot, dot, dots. And you'll be appreciated. Your full mark is waiting for you. And the next one is a mudstone, H3. It's a what? A mudstone. H3 is a mudstone, empty. And H4 is a sandstone. Then H5 is a limestone. H5 is a limestone. I told you that limestone looks like brick, right? So you just take it like this. You can just draw larger bricks. So now waste time. Again, when you want to do it, just draw a limestone, nice brick, nice brick, nice brick. Okay. Um. Okay. Good. So you continue. Yeah. Just keep doing that. Keep doing that. Just put your label on it. Good. Now, is that all? Actually, this is nice. This is your cross section. But that is not all that they mark in the exam. One of the things that they mark is you must have a title. So you can write in caps lock, you can write title, cross section, cross section, cross section of map. This is my second map on this video. So map 2. Good. Next, you have to draw your what? Your legend. I'll draw your legend. So legends will show how these are deposited. How what? They are being what? Deposited. So it shows that all of these have what? They have been displaced. They have been what? Displaced. So you have our H1, H2. So you put their symbol there, H1 blank, H2, H3 blank, H4. You have your sandstone. and you write their name blank. So just write it in full. This one is limestone. This is this is limestone. This is sandstone. This is mudstone. Okay. This is sandstone and this is mudstone. Okay. So just put it above it. And this is your cross section of an advanced map. Yeah. So we are tracing a bit for the end of what I've said so far. I talked about your scale. Your scale is very, very important. Hmm? You only exaggerate when the scale given is too small. You only exaggerate your what? Your angle also when it's too small also. Okay? Vertical acceleration, spot height, deep. I know that by now you should be able to understand all of this. Thank you. We've come to the end of this map, our map 2. Thank you very much for listening.